Hi, guys. Um, Welcome to today's edition of Ask John. So, I want to help with selling an experience. This is a real thing. This is something that a lot of businesses do. They don't have a product or a service, but they actually sell an experience. So if you package up all your things and you come to us, we're going to let you do something that you've never done before, right? It's an experience. You don't leave with necessarily a product and or a service. You're not getting your house painted or something. So in this particular situation, it's a shooting range. It's a shooting service. So you come out to the range and they provide you with food and a place to stay and shooting and a whole entire experience involved in tactical shooting, right? So you learn something while you're there, right? But you also have fun while you're there doing that. So this particular person reached out and they said that they had found a company that specializes in helping companies sell an experience. That's what they do. We have a business and we help you sell your experience so that you can make more money because you sold the experience. Well, what's happened is this company has continuously blown this person off. They just keep blowing them off, blowing them off, blowing them off, blowing them off. They're not coming to help. So the question was, well, what do you think? Is this company, full of crap? Are they, legit? What do you think? So I briefly looked at the company, okay, but no, I didn't spend very much time on it. Here's the thing, okay, a lot of people are just full of crap. They've got this, they've got that, they can do this, they can do that. But when the rubber meets the road, they don't show up to the meeting. They're blowing you off. They're not answering the questions, right? So they don't have anything. They're not coming to help you. They're not going to come save you. So in this particular question, I want to get to the meat and the potatoes of the question right away. Ditch that company. Get rid of them. You don't need them anyway. They're not the solution. All they're probably going to do is say, give us a bunch of money, which you might do because you're desperate for some sales. So then you give them a bunch of money and then they don't perform. And then what you are is upset that it didn't work. So how do we sell an experience? That should be the real question. That wasn't the question, but in my opinion, it should be the real question because that's what you really need, right? You don't need this company to sell an experience for you. You just need to do it yourself, right? You got to get some revenue um, generated. So what are we really selling, right? So when people go, well, we're selling an experience, you're going to come out and ride the hot air balloon, or we're going to travel across the world and we're going to feed people in foreign countries, or you're going to come out to the shooting range and you're going to have a day or a week or a weekend of tactical shooting, right? The problem with selling an experience is you're asking them to fork over money before they've actually experienced anything, right? This is the same situation that happens with a lot of businesses, with the exception of products. And the reason that products work is because they can physically hold it in their hand, right? Or they can purchase it on Amazon and they know they're going to get a refund, right? So a physical product sells different than an experience. So I'll just use a hypothetical in this situation. Let's say it's a shooting range, and let's say the shooting range is in the middle of the desert. And let's say we're trying to convince somebody to grab themselves or a family member or a group of people and get on a plane or get in a car or do whatever you have to do to get out here to our shooting range and spend time with us and fork over money in the process of doing that. And we want you to pay up front. It's an incredibly hard sell, very hard. That is not an easy sell at all. It's easier if they're close by. If you have someone in proximity to the location, then they could drive out, somebody could drive out, they could inspect it, they could look around, and they kind of get a feel for what they're getting before they actually get it. So what can we do? Okay. And there's a few things that we can do in order to sell an experience easier. Okay. There's a lot of people that sell experiences. So this is, I think, an important video. What you have to do before you ask for the sale is you have to build trust. The person has to trust that what you're selling them is worth more money than the money that you're asking for, right? So if you say, I want you to come out here and do an experience with me, they got to know what they're getting way in advance of them paying you for it. So how do we do that? Well, there's several ways. One thing you could do is actually give the experience away for free. This is what a lot of people do. A lot of people do this. And I think you even do this in the shooting thing. So what you do is you offer something for free. So you would say, okay, we're going to have a free weekend of competition shooting, right? And then you run ads for that on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or wherever you ran ads for it, and it's completely free. And you market it to people who are in the shooting world, right? Come on out, they already know about it, and they're learning about the fact that your business exists, right? And they have no investment at all. It's completely free, right? It cuts down on the risk. Okay. Then when they get to the event, the experience, still free. Doesn't cost them anything to come to it. Okay. But you have something else that you sell while you're there. This is what the coaches do. This is what the consultants do. Come to Miami for a mastermind. It's free, or it's $9.97, or whatever it is. Come to it, it's free. And then people come to it. And then when they come to it, they upsell them from the stage. They say, hey, you know what? We've got this thing going on. It's a really custom event, or, something like that. It's really exclusive. And it's, $4,000. And then 10 people signed up for it, and they made $40,000 because they hosted a free event. You can do the same thing with an experience, an exact same thing with an experience. So let's say hypothetically, you said, okay, we're going to go to Detroit, Michigan. And in Detroit, Michigan, we're going to have a one-day firearms training event, or a competition or a gun show or whatever. And you actually marketed to the people in Detroit that were interested in that. And let's say you had 100 people show up to your event. Let's say 10 people showed up to the event. Let's say 100, right? 100 people come to this one-day event. You have it on a Saturday. You market it months in advance, and 100 people show up to it. And say it's in Detroit, right? When you're there in Detroit and you're meeting all of the people, you have an upsell which involves the experience at your location. Can you sell something to somebody who's standing in front of your face? Yes, significantly easier than if you're asking them to fork over the cash to come out and do an experience. They don't know anything about the experience. They don't even know who you are. There are people that do this regularly. So you can do the same thing, but you have to go to them first, right? So let me give you an example of somebody that does this. Disney World does this. People are like, what? Disney World does this? Yes. Disney on Ice. Disney on Ice travels all over the country, and they give you a little bit of the Disney experience. And people think, well, they want to get, people to come out and go to the show and, see Mickey Mouse on skates and all of that. No, they don't. What they want you to do is they want you to be involved in the Mickey Mouse experience. Because if they can come to your town and they can be involved and you can be involved in the Mickey Mouse experience, you might jump on a plane and come out and see them in Disney World or Disneyland or Disney Paris or Disney Tokyo or Disney Hong Kong. You can come see them. You can buy Disney Plus, right? But they're building trust with you by coming to the community, running ads on TV, puts them in your face, right? They're not looking to make money at Disney on Ice. They're using Disney on Ice to get you into the park. They want you to spend $6,000 to $10,000 to come on a vacation and come see them. But in order to do that, they got to load up the bus. They got to load up the semi-trailer. They got to lay down the ice in January or February or March or whenever it is, and they got to be in your face. They're bringing the experience to you. And I'm saying you can do the same thing. You can actually run an event in a community, right? Target the event to that community. Go rent out a shooting range, right? Free one-day tactical training or whatever it might be, right? And it costs you money. It's not free. You have to spend money on this, just like Disney does on Disney on Ice. Right? It costs money. Then what you do is when you get them to that event, that experience, which is money out of your pocket, then you say to them, hey, we're having an event in April. And the event in April is a shooting competition, as an example, right? And it costs $800. If anybody here is interested, we accept Visa, credit card, whatever, you can wire us the money or whatever. It's $800. And 10 people showed up. You leave that one-day event with $8 grand. Then you take the $8,000 and instead of just sticking it in your pocket and doing something else with it, you market the next town, right? Now, all of a sudden, you've got, 100 people showing up to your event in April, right, at the experience, and you're going to upsell all of them on a $3,000 event, right? This is how you sell an experience. You're not in the sales business, you're in the trust business. You have to pound that into your head. I have to build trust. Nobody, or at least very few people, are going to see you on social media and go, you know what? I want to fly my entire company out to Nevada or wherever it is to this shooting tactical thing. It's going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars, and I don't know what I'm going to get. An incredibly hard sell. People from Europe or whatever this other company was, they have this $1 trillion experience thing. It isn't going to work. They're not going to help you. You're going to help yourself. I say this, nobody's coming to save you. You have to do this yourself. So if you've tried to go to Detroit and you've tried to rent out a gun range and you've tried to invite people who are in the shooting world to come to this gun range and you've tried to host a one-day event where you have 40 people come and then you've tried to upsell those 10 of those people to spend $800 with you that day so you make $8,000 that day. If you've tried all of this and it hasn't worked, you've got problems. Because selling it on social media and saying, hey, come drop $12,000 and bring your entire company out to Nevada on airplanes and travel and hotels and food and guns and all the other things, it's an incredibly hard sell. You have to build trust with your community. And you got to define who your community is. Who are the people that would be interested in doing this? My personal experiences and my belief is somebody who's interested in guns. If you have a tactical shooting range, your target market is not Susie Homemaker. It's somebody who's already got a gun and they want to come out and check out your facility. And are they going to spend thousands of dollars to do that? Probably not. But are they going to spend hundreds and you get thousands of people? Yes. That's what I would do. So this is selling an experience. And today we talked about guns, but you could take that anywhere, right? If you had a hot air balloon, we'll use that as an example. That's another experience, right? Going in a hot air balloon. And you say to somebody, hey, I want you to spend $1,000 and I want you to come out to the event and I want you to get in the air in the hot air balloon and I want you to go up with me and go for a ride. It's an incredibly hard sell. And the reason why is because it could rain that day. They might not feel well that day. There's a lot of things wrong. So you know what's going to happen? They're not going to come. So what you do is you have a free event. What I want you to do is just come out to the hot air balloon event. We're going to have 5 hot air balloons and we're going to talk about hot air balloons and we're going to educate the kids and we're going to have food. We're going to have all this stuff and it's going to be free. It doesn't cost you anything. Come out to it. You market it, you spend money, you get people there. And then when they're there, you say, hey, do you want to go for a hot air balloon? It's $500. Now they're standing right in front of the basket. They see the great big huge hot air balloon. They look around at the family. They're like, does anybody want to go for a ride? They're like, yeah, let's go for a ride. And they drop the money. It's trust. You're in the trust game. When you can get your experience to be like a product that somebody is holding in their hand, right? This is how Walmart is successful. You can go to Walmart, hold it in your hand. It helps. Amazon has spent billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to earn your trust. You have to do the same thing. You go to Amazon and you buy something, you know it's going to be delivered when it says. You know you can return it. You know you can write a bad review. You know you can ask questions to the person who's selling it to you, right? There's a lot of knowns. When you're selling an experience, there's a lot of unknowns. And when there's a lot of unknowns, you have trust issues. So you're in the trust game. You do not need this other company, the one that's blowing you off. They're not required. You can do this on your own. So I hope this helps. If you know anybody who's selling an experience, maybe you could pass this on to them. Maybe this would help them. But I would say stop selling and start building trust. Get in the car, go to a community, rent out a gun range for the day, market it to people and have them come into the event and then sell a special event 4 months from now, 5 months from now. It's $800. You can put it on a credit card, and they're standing in front of your face. It's an easier sell. So I hope this helps you in some way. I hope I've answered your questions. And again, this is the Ask John show. And the purpose of this show is I'm taking my 25 years of business ownership experience and I'm bringing it to people for free. It doesn't cost anything. You ask me a question and I do my best to help you. So it's the Ask John show. And if you know anybody who owns a business, they might be struggling or having problems or whatever, have them reach out to me. Just send me a message or post a comment or whatever. I'm paying attention to those things and I'm doing my best to answer people's questions. And I hope it helps. You know, that's what I'm here to do. So I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Goodbye.